You guys ready to get started? Okay, I think I am finally too. So cool. All right, well, happy Thursday. Happy Halloween. Not just happy Thursday, happy Halloween. I trust that is the ghost sweatshirt, right? Okay, good. I would be very disappointed if you forgot it today. Understandable. I'll warn myself now. Has anybody gotten to do anything fun for Halloween? Either today or just in general over the past week? Any costumes or anything? Sup? Yeah, you did or you are tonight? Very fun, very nice. But before we actually dive into yet again more ANOVA, first on this rainy, dreary day that we've had, I just want to know what helps you feel a little bit better on rainy, dreary days. Sleep? Sleep? Yeah, I would agree. I know today was one of those days where I accidentally turned off my morning alarm, got an extra 20 minutes that I did not really have the time to afford. But what else do we do other than sleep when it's raining?
On a normal day or today.
Just, yeah, when it's real rainy, when it's real dreary, what are some things that you like to do? Yeah. Okay. Binge watch TV. Have you watched anything good recently?
Normal, my Real Housewives.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do a little activity to try to spice up statistics because it's already pretty spicy, but we're going to have some more fun. And so we're going to do a little relay race. And I do have candy for whoever wins. Yeah, I know, exciting. And so right now, go ahead. We're going to split into like two even groups. We're going to have it go ahead and sit in some pairs. I'm going to hand each group a worksheet. And then as each pair finishes a question, you're just going to pass it forward. So it's relay style. First group to finish with correct answers gets 2 pieces. Second group gets 1 piece, okay, per person. Fair?
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions first? Okay. I made a little activity for us to help learn these 4 post talks essentially. So I'm going to pass out some cards. Your job is going to be to find your 2 significant others using the information that is on the board. Essentially. How this works, I've got 4 post hoc tests. So there should be 4 groups of y'all. Each group has 3. And each group should have a scenario, the name of a post hoc, and then the third thing is like attributes of said post hoc test. So go, mix, mingle. I did submit, hopefully you all saw my email. I submitted to do a mid-semester assessment, the MAPS survey. I always forget the exact acronym, what it stands for, but mid-semester assessment. It's kind of like the set surveys that we do at the end of the semester. This is just in the middle of the semester. It is super brief. It is only 2 questions. However, they are like open-ended qualitative type questions. And so I am just interested in knowing from you folks, keeping in mind the limits that I do have as the TA for the lab, what I could do differently or what I could also just do more of that would help you with learning the material in class. In this class. So I really appreciate those of you that did fill out the mid-semester feedback thing. Some common themes that came up of like, and it was super brief, 2 questions essentially, like what's working and what can be improved. As far as what's working, a number of students commented on really appreciating the accessibility and the availability and also just the honest communication that I give. So I appreciate that. That was good for me to know. And then a number of students also commented saying that they feel that lab really helps to simplify the complex material presented in lecture. And I would say 100% that is my goal here. They're getting the feeling of like, maybe we're not all quite there, taking that time to do some extra examples, some extra walkthroughs, or even just redoing an entire example. Relatedly, some other things was just appreciating taking the time to answer lots of questions. I think that's a great thing. I want to encourage questions, no silly questions, no dumb questions. Even if it's a question that's already been answered, still not dumb, because this stuff is really hard. And as we've seen with some of the lessons, it's more than just learning how to do a certain test. We're also having to learn a whole new language in here because we use R. Some things that could be improved, things that was emphasized was just having a good interest in incorporating more hands-on practice for hand calculations, trying to slow down as we go through example code, what each segment of that code really means, and then especially wanting to emphasize or try to incorporate more time for those hand calculations, especially the ones that'll appear on the homework. And so today, towards, well, really at like the very end of lab, when we go through our example problem and we're looking at our example hand calculations, that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to slow down and work through those hand calculations together. And it's going to be the ones that you do on your homework, just with different numbers. So I need one really brave volunteer, but low key, you're going to get the easiest job if you volunteer. So I need one volunteer. All right, one volunteer. And I do kind of want someone with at least decent handwriting. I'm not gonna lie. That is probably a.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Najee. Yes, everybody cheers, Najee. Brave soul. All you have to do is write what they tell you.
Okay.
Don't write unless they tell you.
Okay.
Make them do the work, okay? You were the brave soul.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna recommend first just write that basic regression equation based on the output. And so using this formula, what is she gonna write, everybody? Y prime, all right. Right, when we're running multiple regression, for every additional predictor we include, we're going to be able to explain more of the variance in whatever our dependent variable is, so long as it's like a reasonable predictor, right? I mean, if I'm trying to predict something like color of the sky and I'm plugging in number of toes, well, that's not going to help. But as long as I'm plugging in something that's relevant, with each additional predictor, I will explain more of my outcome variable, meaning my R squared is going to increase whenever I add more predictors. Yeah.
So pairwise comparisons are comparisons between two groups, right?
Yes. Yep.
What are otherwise comparisons?
Otherwise means we're introducing at least a third group, could be more. So one example for otherwise could be like group 1 versus group 2 and group 3. Another example of otherwise could be like group 1 and group 2 versus group 3 and group 4. Why would we do something like this? Our hypothesis. So again, I'm in clinical. Most decent examples, other than the toe one, will always be clinical examples. But so like maybe this is a pharmacological versus a therapy, two different kinds of therapy. Maybe this is like, this is my drug versus CBT and DBT. Or is this helping?
Yes.
And then like down here, maybe I've got like drug 1 and drug 2. Or actually, let's do like drug 1 plus CBT versus drug 2 plus CBT. And I want to see where those differences lie and see the otherwise comes into the fact that it's more complicated than just drug 1 versus CBT, which would just be like a group 1 versus group 2.